Okay. Hi, everybody. I'm Erica Wofford. I'm fairly new Texas CSR. I passed everything in September of 2023. So I'm a 2.5-year-old. And but I try to get involved, get on committees, make those connections, network. It's the best way to go. Your reputation is everything. So I highly recommend getting involved. Uh, but I decided to focus a little bit on getting ready to shadow and what you should do to prepare for shadowing, interning, mentoring, whatever you want to call it. So I thought this was a kind of a cool thing, making the impossible look easy. And it really is. Nearly every single thing I cover, there's attorneys asking me, what do I do? How do I do it? The witnesses. So it's such a cool skill, and I'm so excited for you guys to be on this journey. So the first step in getting ready to shadow is to find a mentor, and it's never too early. I highly recommend getting a mentor as early as possible, just to be a sounding board for while you're in school. Maybe give you some direction on good practice tips and it just really help you through this process. Let me get my little laser. Okay. Um, so I recommend finding an official and a freelance mentor. So two mentors really you're going to need at least two people to shadow, if not more. So you can fill your internship hour requirements. Most schools, I feel, have this internship hour requirement. Even if they don't, I highly, highly recommend getting as much shadowing time in and internship time in as you can before you pass your CSR and you're ready to work. I don't feel like you're ready until you have sat in some of these hearings and depositions and you see actual court reporters doing the job, doing the processes, knowing exactly how this is supposed to go. The only way you can do that is by shadowing. If possible, find a mentor using your same method, either steno or voice, and the software. Eclipse and CaseCat are the two biggest ones. There's other options, but it's really helpful to find a mentor with the same software so they can walk you through any issues you're having with scoping or settings, paragraphing, the Q's and the A's, the whole setup. The software is pretty complicated. So having somebody as a resource for that is a really good idea. How do you find a mentor? Reach out to your teacher who might know people in the area. Get connected through your local association. I'm part of CTCRA. It's the Central Texas Court Reporters Association, and we kind of cover Austin, the greater area of Austin. And it's a really good place to get to know, especially officials. It seems like there's a lot more officials, but I'm a freelancer, so you kind of meet a couple different people. And then another option is to reach out to us. We have a Facebook group, the TCRA Student Committee. Feel free to post on there at any time if you have any questions whatsoever. We'll jump on it, or email and call us, and we'll work on getting you a mentor, because we have some set guidelines and a pledge for our mentors to sign to make sure that they're up to the level that we want to be a good resource for students. So I put some of the emails here and then our areas. So Mary Ann's in North Dallas. As I was doing this, I was kind of researching all of my fellow committee members, and we really cover Texas pretty well. So we've got North Dallas, Nancy's in Conroe, North Houston, Lisa's in Southwest Texas, kind of west of San Antonio. I'm in the middle in Austin, and then Holly we got in North Texas, as we were talking about, the Panhandle. So we really cover Texas very well. So that was kind of cool. Okay, so how to approach shadowing. First thing is ask your mentor for their template files, their block files, include files. Usually they'll give them up pretty selflessly because they want you to succeed. And these are a good place to start to build your template files. And these would be like your title pages, your certificate pages, different parentheticals that you want to pull in your transcript, just different run-of-the-mill templates that are pre-formatted, all set up. They use them in their regular course and would be a really good starting place for you to build your template folder. Also, their settings. This is a big deal. To start off the bat with a good set of settings is a really good idea. So, go ahead and ask your mentor for those. When you're looking at shadowing, just be open to everything. There's a million different things that we cover. I named all the ones I could think off the top of my head, but arbitrations, captioning, so like at schools or meetings, conventions, depositions, EUOs or examinations under oath. These are for like insurance companies. Hearings, mediations. I cover a lot of government meetings and administrative hearings. I mean, there's a million things out there. So this is your chance to get as much exposure as possible. This is your chance to dip your toe in everything and see what fits with what you want to do. Prepare for, say, your first shadowing situation or any shadowing situation, like it's a real job. So ask for the agenda, the docket, or the deposition notice. Research that case. Google the companies. Research the names of the people. Look at their LinkedIn. See where they went to school. Especially like experts, they'll throw out a million schools that they went to. Prepare your job dictionary. I always prepare a job dictionary the night before, and this really, really helps you prepare for a job and make it come out as clean as possible. And it helps you kind of tweak some writing and voice writing too. It just gets you kind of in the brain set, I don't know, able to kind of approach it like you feel prepared. And then pack all of your equipment you might need. So let's go to the next one. So take this chance to learn from your experience shadowing. Take notes of what the reporter does that you'd like to remember. I had a whole memo of, okay, remember to do this. Oh, you can do Control-Shift-K, and that brings up my time for all of the attorneys. So you know how much time each attorney has been on the record. There's just like little things that I was like, I'm never going to remember this unless I write this down. So make sure you take notes. See if your recording setup, your machine is working well with your laptop, your microphones are working well, it's picking up the sound well, it's communicating with your software. This is your time to troubleshoot everything. And then work on finding what you're missing and then getting those things for when you graduate. This is your time to build up your arsenal of equipment and take recommendations from your mentors on what you need. Keep track of questions you want to ask the reporter at the end of the proceeding or deposition. You don't have to be on the record the whole time, right? Because you're shadowing, your product isn't going to be produced and paid for. So I would take a couple seconds, I'd go off and I'd be like, oh, this is a good thing. I want to make sure I remember to ask about this. So just take notes and really try to get the most out of the experience. My final little thing is keep track of your hours shadowing because you're going to need those for school most likely. It reminded me of when I was in elementary school and middle school, keeping track of my practice hours for playing my flute. So it's very much like that. And go ahead and scope and proof. So scoping is re-listening to the entire proceeding and fixing your transcript. And then proofing is a cold read, no sound, no audio. And I usually print it to PDF because I feel like when you see it in Adobe PDF, you kind of see a little things that kind of stick out that you might not see in your case software. So scope and proof like it was a real job. So you get experience preparing a transcript. The writing, the voice writing, that is only a small fraction of the job. It's an important part, and you have to get good at it and pass your test to get certified. But it's like the tip of the iceberg when most of the job, for me at least, is preparing transcripts. Use this to fine tune your writing. You're really analyzing how you're writing in real life, which is different than when you're in school. So really analyze what you're doing, update your dictionary, because the cleaner your dictionary is, the better you're going to write, the better your project is going to be. And this is your chance to take that time and really put some work and effort into building your dictionary. And then see how you can improve for your next shadowing opportunity. Treat it like a job. You want to get better at each job. Like, I write nowhere how I wrote when I first graduated. At my first job, I was a hot mess. And now it's like coming out nearly real time. So it's a big difference. Ask your mentors for their final product and compare it against your final transcript. See where there might be some settings that are off, or some spacing that's off, or how they punctuate things. And then keep track of those things that you have questions about and ask your mentors. Don't shy away. This is your opportunity to use them as a resource. No question is a stupid question, because we all were in your shoes at one point, and it's all of these little details that are so easily overlooked that you have to pay attention to, and this is the time to be asking about them. And I actually added this last bullet, thanks to Brennan. Use this time as an opportunity to build relationships for future jobs. I moved to Texas in my high speeds, and so my shadowing was the first step in me getting connections in Austin. And I just shadowed anybody and everybody who came with a good recommendation. And it allowed me to work and find the people I work for today. So I highly recommend using the shadowing time to your fullest. So anyway, that's everything for me.